Welcome to Ask Win, everyone. And this morning I guess you would say, my boss from work is on here to interview me. And he's asked me a question that I honestly didn't know what to think when he asked me this. So I'm going to let him take it away. And this is Josh Wolman, my boss at my day job. So everyone, if I get nervous, it's going to be public. You get to hear me get nervous. But I think the question he asked me is fairly significant in my life and also fairly significant in his life. For those of you who are considering private schools for your kids, I now know that 529 plans can be used in a private school, not just colleges, and I'll find more research in the show notes. Are probably sticking up on my website so you guys have a better understanding of that. But I'm going to let Josh take it away.
Well, thank you, Wynn. I am honored, humbled to be part of your show, and I think so highly of you and all that you've accomplished, and feel very lucky that you are on the faculty here at Aspen Country Day School. The question that I posed over email that I would love to hear you respond to is, how has this small school here in Aspen helped shape who you are today?
Well, it's funny when you ask me that, because I think that one of our philosophies is the creative arts. And you guys have been so supportive of all students, all faculty who are in the creative arts. And not to say that a podcast isn't the creative arts, it's the creative arts of speaking. And so I just think going to a school like Country Day has an impact on those of us who will never be exposed to the arts and will never be exposed to the outdoors. I mean, my office, you guys, sits across from a huge pond. Well, it's a medium-sized pond we have a family of geese living on that pond. And I don't know if they're hanging out now, but I'll take a picture on my phone the next time I'm up and let you guys see the geese. They'll probably run away once they see a camera. But we have, it's a very unique setting. I mean, kids get to see geese, and kids get to see ducklings swimming across that pond. I mean, and the way the music room is set up is it's looking at that pond, not my office. I wish I wouldn't get any work done if that was my office. But the way the older side of the music room is set up is it's looking right over that pond. And so I think that a school that's so into the creative arts and into the academics and into the outdoors is absolutely wonderful. I mean, we start in kindergarten going on 24-hour outdoor ed trips, and as these kids get older, they increase their time, obviously. But and as you guys know, I rock climb as well. So when I told the kids that, they were enamored by that, because and I said, yes, I do rock climb. And they go, you rock climb? We scaled up rocks on outdoor ed. And I'm like, well, that's a little scary that you guys skip up outdoor ed. But I asked, I said, do you guys practice? And they go, yes. And my own rock climbing instructor goes, yes, we're in here about the week before practicing on the rock climbing wall, which made me feel a bit better. But the fact that the 8th graders lead their own parent-teacher conferences at the end of the year, I think that's amazing, so that the teacher doesn't have to spit out what you're trying to learn. Now, in our younger grades, the teacher actually leads the parent-teacher conferences, but for the 8th grade, I think that's a special moment because then they need to know what they actually learn.
No,
And of course, go ahead. But I don't think we had that luxury and that opportunity when I graduated in 2002, sorry. I don't think we had 8th grade led parent-teacher conferences. I know we had monkeys, but we didn't have 8th grade parent-teacher conferences when I graduated out there. I think that's a new thing.
It is new.
Yeah, it is new.
Do you want to tell people about your weekly teaching in music?
Oh yes, I'll go into that. And for the past year, you guys know I gave up preschool teaching. I did that for 11 years, and for the past year, I have been given the opportunity to work with 3rd graders, smart cookie 3rd graders too, on music skills. And that is an eye-opening experience in itself because 3rd graders have the capability to ask me questions that they come up with on their own. I don't prompt them. My colleague doesn't prompt them. They ask me these questions. And some of these questions, they come up with, what is your favorite sport? What were you for Halloween when you were at Country Day? Yeah. Some of these questions shock me. I'm like, you guys know Country Day better than I do. I think that equals out. But at the same time, they are not really curious about CP. Surprise, I thought, oh boy, these 3rd graders would be curious about CP. No, they're more curious about me being a Country Day student than they are my actual disability.
Well, and I think that's very telling. I think kids see people for who they are, and it's nice to hear that they look at you as they look at anyone, and that's a credit to you. You've captured them as students, and put any disability aside. So
I also have to be bad guy. I also have to be the bad guy. My colleague, and I'm not throwing on the bus by any means, my colleague makes me do the disciplinary work with these kids. So some days I have to do the mean teacher. And they get the point. They get the point. They get the point. They got the point the last day I was up there. I said, please, for Miss Kim's sake and for me to walk out of there on a happy note, thinking I taught you guys, well, please pay attention to this camera because granted my office was set up around the front yard, so they saw the older kids playing soccer, and they, once I said that, I did it very sweetly, by the way. Once I said that, they were able to manage what they were doing, and I get it completely. I was a student, and I was sitting in that office which is now my office, on 9/11. So I get it, get it from the perspective of sitting in a room on 9/11 wondering what we all should do. And for those of you that don't know what 9/11 was, 9/11 was when two planes flew into the World Trade Center, and this was when I was in 8th grade, and I'm sitting there, and I'm wondering, my principal at the time has just said to me, you don't leave this campus until I tell you, and granted, no one was going to come up there. I mean, my campus is not easy enough to find, but I remember looking out at the courtyard and thinking, oh my God, and this was in New York on Eastern Standard Time, and so he was getting calls from the parents saying, what are we going to do? Are we going to release these kids early or what? What do you want us to do? And he was telling, this was John at the time, by the way, before Josh came, and he was telling us, don't you leave until I say so. And he was also telling the teachers that, and the teachers were in shock, as we all were. And so I'm like, yeah, sitting in that office wasn't the best on 9/11, and that used to be Assembly Hall, and now it was my office. Unfortunately, since we built the building in 1995, you guys, it's actually being torn down right now and being rebuilt as we do this recording. So it's going to be a pretty campus, and hopefully a more handicapped accessible campus.
Yes, indeed.
Just know this. I had a ramp that was my arch nemesis for, let's say, 30 years. That ramp always scared me after the death because it wasn't too cold. And when we built that building in 1995, and I was using that ramp scared me as a student too. So I just hope that they take handicapped accessibility into account. But I know, and Josh knows, that sending your kids to private schools and being a teacher at a private school has its benefits, but the tuition isn't cheap. It's gone up since I have been there, and it's not cheap, but there is 529 plans, as I said, and we hope, for Country Day's sake, that we're going to put a scholarship in my name. Josh and I are texting me on this one, and we hope that the diversity scholarship underneath my name comes within the next couple of years here, and I'm just happy to be part of that scholarship, and I will always, even when I do become a full-time author in the next 3 years, which I've already told Josh, because I said it's nothing, and I'll say this publicly, I said it's nothing to do with you, it's nothing to do with the admin, it's to do with the paycheck, and Josh will tell you the paycheck hasn't gotten any better. I mean, we're all in the same boat, and it's nothing to do with cerebral palsy. It's absolutely nothing to do with cerebral palsy. It's to do with the paycheck and the nature of the beast of teaching.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So, but I will still be involved with Country Day. Country Day will be a piece of my heart for Emma and Dave, even though I lost my job, I lost a different job in 2009. I went, and then I had a tragic loss in my life, which I completely mentioned. That's public. I lost my mom to meningitis, and then I basically went back to a place where it supported me. So I basically thought, okay, I lost my job, then losing my mom on top of losing my job, and I lost my job due to the economic class, because that's not something I did. It's just the economic class happens. I was one of the ones that lost their job. So I thought, okay, let's just do something dramatically different. Let's go back to a place that really, really supports me and really supports these kids in alternative education.
Well, I have a quick. What are your fun plans this summer?
My fun plans this summer. My fun plans this summer are to get me organized enough, and probably I have a beautiful deck which I sat on for the first time last night. It's now beautiful enough to sit on my deck, which is quite enjoyable. And so that's the only fun plans I have. Other than that, I'm taking English class because I need to it's by my choice. And as I said, I'm going back to journalism, so you people know this. So it's by my choice that I'm taking this journalism English class. I figured I might as well be easy on myself. And so my plans are just to take care of me so I can take care of these kids in the winter and September. And what are your fun plans? I know we're busy up in Country Day, but you must have some fun plans.
Well, I will be away a little bit, with the highlight for me going to, I'm going to London for a week at the end of June.
Oh,
so that will be first for me, so that'll be great.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You lucky duck. How did you swing that? Now we want to know how you swung that.
I know. I wish I had a good answer. I'm not a real sophisticated traveler, but that's a place I would like to go.
You wish you would. Well, it's a bucket list trip, Keith. It's a bucket list trip.
For sure.
So the end of June, you're going to Galileo in London. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that, and I wish you the best of luck with the construction going on at work right now.
Yeah.
I stepped away from the construction incident I found out about it. I'm like, bye, I doubted it because my colleague goes, I won't have a classroom. And my colleague said, my music class will probably be homeless. And I said, bye, I doubted it. And so that's why I left Philly when I left you guys, because of the construction. And so you might see pictures in September of my new office, you guys, because, as I said, my ex-office was built in 1995 and it was falling apart. So hopefully they did a beautiful job so maybe I'll show it off. But I am fairly private due to teachers have to be fairly private. That's why I won't talk about the educational process on this podcast. You guys know I won't, because we have kids that need my love, need all the love and attention in the world, that I don't want to burn bridges with my day job here. And as I said, I'm quitting my job within the next 3 years, not because of them, but it's because of the paycheck. And that's just the nature of the beast. And Josh, what would you like to add in the end of this interview?
I'll add quickly what I started with, which is that this special school is in really good shape right now, and very lucky with new campus and terrific faculty, and really and the growth in our student enrollment. And we are very lucky, Wynn, that you have remained a strong presence, and it's been very rewarding for all of us to have you. And I wish you well, and look forward to being in touch and seeing you in the fall, if not before.
Well, if not before. And you guys know journalism is something that I want to do, and these guys support me, but I just think it's time for me to, in the next 3 years, to step away and teach kids on a broader basis. We need to teach kids how to read. And my last question for Josh, coming off starting summer with the reading list, any good books for kids whose parents are listening to this podcast? Do you have any good kid book recommendations?
The best book that I would recommend, and I think fitting for your show, is Wonder. I don't know if you're familiar with the book.
I definitely agree. I'm familiar with the book and movie. You guys don't go see the movie as a replacement for the book. And I will tell you, the movie made me cry. So I'm only telling you that. So Wonder, I knew you were going to say that, as a kid recommendation book. And I'm sure Wonder's on that reading. I'm sure Wonder's on a reading list somewhere.
I'm sure.
Maybe I'll have Josh email me one of the kid reading lists so I can get it up on my website. He said yes to that. So you guys have a good understanding on what our kids are reading. Maybe your kids can do the same thing, because we need to get these kids reading, and we need to get these kids active. And so that's what I will always try to do with my educational background. And it's going to be interesting that you recommend Wonder, and Wonder's about a kid with a facial deformity, and they did a movie which is also wonderful. But as I said, don't go see the movie after you read the book, because we want these kids reading, and we don't want these kids watching movies as a book replacement. There we go. Not happening. So, Josh, I thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I just love my day job. You guys don't get to hear me talk about my day job. That's only because of the anonymity of the kids, and the kids need my love, and they don't need to be put on this podcast. I know how to do teaching gracefully. I know how to do teaching gracefully, and those of you who are teaching summer school we wish you the best of luck. Country Day
Yep.
doesn't have summer school, but those of you who still in the class, older summer, just do your best. Just
Yeah.
do your best. That's what I would say, and Josh would probably say the same thing, and I know teaching is on. Josh and I and all these other teachers are going through the same struggle you guys are. So that's why I got Josh on, just for a little encouragement. And I thank Josh for coming on and asking his question. And then we will get together in September, and we will make the school year mark, and we will carry out the next 3 years, me at Country Day, me teaching these kids, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And thanks to you guys for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.